How's it going, film and TV fans? Welcome back to another review here on the Off the Cuff Film Reviews YouTube channel. Today we're back in the world of Friday the 13th with Friday the 13th part fucking 7. That's not the title, by the way. It's called part 7. The New Blood. It's pretty fucking good, you know. It's not that bad. It still falls into the trap mainly, and it brings back the unfortunate trope that some of the older ones had, where teens go to the woods to fuck and get murdered by Jason. But that's not the main focus this time. It's actually on this telekinesis, telepathic woman. So this could easily be an X-Men movie, and it's not. But it's about this lady whose father was killed in the lake that Jason drowned in the last movie, but he was killed like 20 years ago, or like 15 or so years ago, whereas the movie was set like fucking, you know what I mean? It makes no fucking sense, but who cares? It's Friday the 13th. And that's the thing that's good about this movie. It's the telekinesis plot with the girl and the doctor. Real good stuff. It's like a totally different movie, because then it's just then immediately cuts to us cutting between 3 different sets of people having sex at once. It's just like, can we please just stick with the good shit, please? Like the actual storytelling, instead of let's just see tits, like, for the sake of it. Like, not to move the story forward. If it moves the story forward, fucking fine, but it doesn't, because then within like 30 or 40 seconds of us cutting between these 3 scenes, and then cuts back to the telekinesis woman. It's just like, you're putting that in there for the sake of gratuitous. Now it's fucking stupid. But aside from that, it's a solid flick, you know. It's definitely one of the better ones in this franchise. It's not terrible. It's quite enjoyable in places, and again, Jason feels like he works here, which is something I can say a little off some of the other times. But we are getting into that point in the franchise now where he's been going for a while now. I mean, when this movie came out, it had been 8 years since the first one, and this is the 7th movie. So, you know, like, for most of the 1980s, there was a Friday the 13th movie, at least, you know, for most of the 1980s, you know. There was one the following year after this, in 1989, which was part 8. And then there was a bit of a longer gap between part 8 and part 9, which was not called part 9, and during that time, studios, the original Paramount guys lost the rights. They went to New Lines, but they couldn't call it Friday the 13th, so they called it fucking Jason Goes to Hell, the Final Friday. Jason X comes along, Freddy vs. Jason, Friday the 13th reboot. Here we are. But yeah, as you can tell, that's a big gap of time between the release of part 7 and the reboot. But there isn't that many movies in between that slot. You obviously have Jason Goes to Hell. Sorry, you obviously have the next one, whatever the fuck it's called. Jason Takes Manhattan, Jason Goes to Hell, Jason X, Freddy vs. Jason, the reboot. That's 5 movies in nearly 15 fucking years. That's pretty bad. But yeah, it's not a bad movie. This time we have the score by Harry Manfredi and also Fred Molan, who joins us for the first time here. But you're not hearing that score, you're hearing a review theme I wrote, because why the fuck not? I know it has nothing to do with the movie, but who fucking cares? I'm not gonna lie to you, as much as these last few have actually been good movies, this franchise is driving me fucking insane, and I just want it to end, you know. Like, I won't lie, the last like 3 have actually been good, but I don't think I can push myself to do Nightmare on Elm Street by the end of the year, so you'll get that next year. Hell, I already gave you 2 horror franchises for this Halloween, Final Destination and Friday the 13th. I would much rather go and watch all the Final Destinations over and over again. I'd watch the Final Destination over most of these movies, I won't fucking lie. Yeah. It's just one of those things. It's a decent enough flick. It's just, you know, I do like what it does by pushing the whole idea of using this telekinesis and not focusing on the teenagers once, because most of this movie, and I will stress, most of this movie, not all of it, most of it is focused on this doctor this doctor, the girl, and the girl's mother. And I really, really like those parts of the movie. But the other, like, 20% of this movie, where it's the teenagers, it just feels like they did so much to go forward, but by keeping that stuff in, it went back. And don't get me wrong, I get it. You need to have multiple people to die in the movie, because if you just had the plot of these 3 people, no one would die, there'd be no kills, and it wouldn't make much money. So I get it. From a standpoint of, we're gonna make as much money, yeah, shove that whole subplot with those people in, leave them in, it make you more money, make more people go see the movie, because tits, because death, because blood. But if you're looking at wanting to actually tell a good movie, have a good story, you'd keep it with those guys. Which is something I can say, if this were a Halloween movie, it would be focused solely, for the most part, more than it is here, on the mother and the child of the doctor. But yeah, thanks so much for watching my review of part fucking 7. It's been a long day. Up next, Jason Takes Manhattan, and I don't know how much more I can take of this shit. Have a good day. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Go watch far better horror movies like Halloween. If you are planning on watching a movie on Halloween on the 31st, don't make it one of these, because they're fucking boring, they're fucking shite, and they are just fucking terrible. So, yeah. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this Friday the 13th series. I'll think about doing that on Elm Street, but I can't guarantee it. So, and yeah, thanks so much for watching my review of Friday Part 7, The New Blood. Yeah, hopefully it gets better, but I don't see it getting much better. Bye bye for now.